Alrighty. I'm gonna go over yesterday's trade. As I didn't go over it last night because I've not been well. I was ill on Monday, super ill, and then on Tuesday I was just like dead. So I did trade, but like I had to after I did the trade, I was just so fatigued. I couldn't do the recap on it, so I thought I'll just come do it tomorrow. I'm still pretty tired today, but um, yeah. Market opens in 3 minutes, and I do need to do. I mean, news comes out at 3, so I'm not too fussy. But yeah, let's go over yesterday's trade. I made about 5k or 6k, and I passed one of my 150ks. And I am much closer. Actually, it should tell me on here because I just doubled it basically. There you go. Yeah, look. So 2.5, so 5k. I could have made more, but because I wanted to just pass my 150, like the first 150k, I'm still one trade off passing this one regardless. So I'd be 2 grand up more. So basically I'd be a grand from passing instead of 3k from passing. That's the difference. So I'm not too fussed because it's one trade. One trade is one trade to pass. Obviously, it would mean I need to hit less risk reward. So like here, instead of like there having to hit that like I did yesterday, I'd only have to hit like that instead. But I'm not too fussed. My trading's going really well. And we actually did take one loss yesterday, which I will get into. So market open yesterday was yeah. So we took out some lows. We left these lows, which were not even London lows. We had London highs, which we did come and take out. So I was pretty much bearish on the day because if we look at the 4 hour, this is where we came up into a lot. We had this extension. I was expecting a pullback and then a continuation, essentially because we still hadn't filled this price opening gap fully yet. That was kind of where I was a bit more iffy on. I'm going to extend that out actually because is that our first presented for today? Oh, might be a nice draw. Um, and we've got another fair value gap. This is 10. This is the only one. Sorry, I'm just marking these things out because this is for this market open. So basically, yeah, with respect to this, I'm gonna delete it, but yeah, this 4 hour gap, we traveled into this, and I looked on the hourly, and we had this 1 hour gap that we came up into, and then there was also this 15 minute, as you can see, it's marked out, and then this white line is just the start of a 5 minute gap. Here, I just lined it out just because I wanted to see if price would tag just the 15 minute, but obviously it did. Now my that was basically what I was waiting for. This 15 minute first presented gap. I mean, technically on the actual leg, I don't know if I'd count this as a full pullback, but it was technically a pullback. So even on the 5 minute, it definitely was the first presented. Because look, these are like definite pullbacks. So this was the first presented. So um, yeah, we came into this 15 minute gap, and then we obviously took out London highs, came into this gap, and then we were respecting it, and then I was waiting for basically a reaction out of it. So that was the situation. So my first entry, because my first entry was also the same. It was the same targets. It was the same sort of, you know, um, locks, which is great. I'm just gonna hide this for now. Can I just hide it? Hide. Um, so this first one, um, it was basically off this look we swept. I got a recovery on this, and I believe it was based on this 1 minute fair value gap here when this inversed here, and then I just started layering entries in. But as soon as we disrespected it here, I cut it. It was as simple as that because this was my entry criteria. It wasn't the best entry model. As in, yeah, we got the V shape on this leg on the 30 second. It also looked great, um, but it wasn't like my favorite just because of that. I mean, even on the 3 minute, it looked okay, but there was no fair value gap. It was just the fact that we had that basically. Um, so yeah, I just exited it immediately and I cut it for about a $500 loss on a 1% risk. So I lost like a third of my risk, which was fine. Um, and then I looked for a re-entry, which was so I'll delete that. So yeah, basically I cut that loss. I cut it instead of losing 40 points or whatever, I lost like 14 points. So yeah, literally about a third of it. Um, there we go. So we can delete that one now. So I then came into this part. So we kept getting. It's going to be hard to show this. It's because of how the day went. Yes. Oh, come on, bro. Wait, what? For some reason, I don't have. Wait, is that right? That's the wrong one. So basically, look, this was the same 15-minute gap, but on ES, but we kept coming up and we kept getting little SMTs. So then we swept up here on ES and we actually got. I mean, this would have been a decent entry, to be fair. Something like that off that inverse. Um, it would have been even better. But again, I'm never trading ES again just because of the way it moves. It's just, it's never like this. But so yeah, we got a sweep again on ES, and then on NQ. I'd hate how it does this. Why can't it just show it from where I was? Yeah. So but on NQ we didn't take out the highs, and then look, we started reversing again. So I went on to there was this 1 minute gap here, and then there was also a 2 minute gap, and they both, yeah, obviously look, we closed right on the fair value gap edge, and then we just dumped straight down. So I ended up not getting the ideal entry because that's just how it goes. But I entered. I still had a safe stop, and it was still only 36 points, and I still had further down target. So this was my take profit to pass my 150k, but this was my full take profit. And this is another thing. I really want a live account because look, I could have just left this. This dead quick. I could have just left this. Look, so that was a 1 to 5 risk reward, but all the way up until about here. So I could have totally got like, you know, a lot more on a live account. But we trade futures, so that's not how it is at the moment. But yeah, super glad with the trade. It was a bit of a painful, slow delivery. I was looking at other parts as well, so I moved to break even when we like dumped down here because I was like, Lord, it's not what, protect the capital. And then as we moved closer and closer down, I moved my stop loss to this red line. So that was basically making up the loss I made from the previous trade when I cut it short. Um, so yeah. And then I was like, things just waiting for this 15-minute inversion to give me a bit more confirmation, and it did. And then we went and hit take profit. I actually ended up closing the trade a bit accidentally early, and then I was $100 from passing the account, so I just did a ghost trade, and it just passed it. Obviously I was still short bias, so I just entered another short, and it just played out and I got the take profit. But yeah, that was it. I was just waiting for other things. I mean, originally, look, we bounced off this 15-minute fair value gap on market open, so I saw longs could play out. I even saw some long opportunities here to then target like Asia highs. So it's just reacting to what price gave me. But at the end of the day, I was more or less just short, just based on how like of a trend we're in, and a pullback and an extension just made sense given what we have, and we needed to come and fill this price opening gap, not just tag it, like because we obviously tagged it here, but we didn't fill it. So I was waiting for a full fill, which obviously we have now got. Now I'm not gonna go over obviously today's trading, but yeah, I'm gonna go trade now, and then I'll do a recap. So I might upload these in two parts. Or I might just upload it as one, just clunk it together. But yeah, that was a super good trade. I was super happy with it. I was patient. I didn't like set stop loss. I just need to remember that now that I'm past, I need to just keep doing what I was doing that got me past, because there's no point letting an account bleed or cutting losses earlier than I would do. Just stick to this formula, let go, and let price do its thing. So yeah, super glad. I also don't know why the camera on here is so much worse. It's a brand new laptop and it's supposed to be like way better. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go trade and see. Wait, yeah, and see what's happening. All right. Uh, but yeah, super cool trade. Okay, so I'm gonna go over today's trades. I'm currently losing one. Um, Probably gonna lose this next one. I'm not like it's disappointing because it's my first day on this funded. So if we have a look here, so my first one, it was actually really similar setup to yesterday. If I go on like the 5 minute here, although you can see how it um our price like it's working, it's just kind of ranging. We come up and then I was looking at the reverse. That's exactly what happened. Look, we were just ranging, few up and downs, up and then yeah, um straight back down. So same today basically. We did come down into this 15-minute and hourly gap here and reacted off of it, but we didn't sweep any liquidity, so it wasn't good enough to take a longer. Plus, it was like the first 5 minutes of my 10 minutes. Like, look, I can't trade that. So I was basically looking at this, and then it came down, and then I could tell it was gonna. I was gonna enter off this if this inversed, and it didn't. Um, Came back up, reswept, which was great, and then we got this. Which was like this here thing. If we go on the 30, yeah, look at the 30-second perfect V-shaped recovery. Um, on the 1 minute, wait for the inverse, entered, and then as you can see, we came into some profit, and then we came down. Now the issue was we have this 15-minute fair value gap that formed. Now, the same as yesterday, you have to be careful with it, but yesterday we just kept going straight down, where today we haven't. This is just probability playing out, so I cut this trade short when it invalidated my idea here, if we have a look. So my stop was on the liquidity. As soon as it invalidated here, which is the red line, this red line here, or don't know where it's gone. Um, why is it deleted itself? So yeah, this red line is where I cut losses on this first trade here. So we entered on this inverse. It even tagged back into the inverse and reacted. It was a great reaction. But price wanted to come up and sweep again. And I did the same here. So we had this. Sorry, this wasn't the inverse. It was it's kind of this whole move really from here to here. This inverse. That's kind of the what I was looking at. So yeah, we've come back up again. Oh, wrong one. We came back up again. Look, we had a nice recovery, and I basically entered on the inverse. And then, as you can see here, it looks like I'm going to get stopped out. I was just kind of waiting around. The reason I haven't cut this one, I just cut the remaining risk I had for the day. So I'll just lose 1% across both accounts. I've took this on both the eval and the live. Now, I was going to take it out. Can you see how it didn't invalidate me here? It invalidated me here, and then I just thought, you know what? Just let it run. Just let it hit my stop loss because it's not worth like the $200-300 saving for me to cut it here and then for it to reverse. It's not. I'd rather take the extra hit and whatever it is, 0.2% extra loss if I was to cut it soon than as if I was to cut it sooner. That's worth it to me to say, okay, you made the correct call not cutting it. As you can see now, we're ranging. I feel like we're going to resweep and then deliver. But again, it's not worth me. I mean, it's not even like I'm at break even anymore. But even if I was at break even, what's the point? Because I could exit and then it just dumps. So, but me looking at this, there we
Order
go.
filled.
I thought resweep and then we'll probably deliver after this. But yeah, disappointing because there was a bit going on today. We had news as well, right here, which helped bring some liquidity into the market. So I may get a second. I may just put a shorter risk because look at this now. Are you telling me that this isn't a solid resweep? I'm gonna leave this open. And the thing is, I have a good feeling that even if I'm like wrong, so I got stopped out. I don't think I'll actually be wrong on this. I think it will deliver. Because look at that first week. Yes, also messing up. And look at all this low resistance liquidity built up. Here. So I reckon now I'm gonna get rid of these because I've explained. And we've invalidated that. We've invalidated that. If we V-shape and inverse this, I might enter on the eval again. Not on the live though. I don't need to lock it because I'm not gonna trade it. But yeah, I did see opportunity for longs. I did. Actually based on this here. So when we came into the 15-minute gap and then we recovered here on this 30 second inverse. Oh, all my things have come back now. Oh, that's the red line. What was that about? Well, you would just target that. So one's at 1.3, but yeah, I could have broke even here, but I didn't even hit 1-to-1. I was close to it, and I've done this before and been stopped, but it's just probability playing out, I think. But yeah, that's it. There's not much more I can do, I'll say. Just have to try again tomorrow. I mean, I passed with this. If we go on to here, look, like, if we look at my P&Ls, look. Wait, have I only been trading it? Oh, wait, I've only been trading it since last week. That's crazy. Almost past in a week. So look, um, that's that's last week, and this is this week. So my winning days are much better. I'm still up on this week, and I'm obviously down on this, but technically I'm up on the week. So yeah, I didn't want to. It's not playing now, is it? Right. Well, that's me done for the day. Um, but yeah, I should try again tomorrow. Really. No news really. I can trade Friday, but there's all this tentative stuff. I'm not a fan of that, just because that was from like a month ago, and it's still not released yet. So, um, yeah, I've just gotta come back, try again tomorrow. Swear, man, if this delivers, I'll be so annoyed. I'm gonna extend this out. Oh, knowing my luck, I mean, my actual target was these Asia lows down here, but obviously I would take profit along the way. Set stop to break even. I'd probably take profit here, but this market open low. Because even that's like a 1 to, there you go, 1 to 6. So, anyway, I will be back tomorrow. Goodbye. We'll see how this played out. Because I feel like it's going to play out. I just have a feeling it will. Wait, just put it to like that for now. To revisit this. The only other things I missed as well. I mean, on the 4 hour look, we inverse this 4 hour here upwards quite strong as well, I might add. However, we came in to this 1 hour gap on ES, this 1 hour BPR, which we respected. We took out New York PM high, and the next high is New York AM high from the day before, and it's a lot of work to get there. and I just didn't think. I think, look, we've come over here, extended, and then we can start targeting more lows. But then again, it may have done its retrace for the for the day. 100%. I could have. I did miss. I mean, I didn't miss it, but these longs here off this 15-minute gap, it was basically that. But it's a huge stop. But yeah, I mean, you would target New York AM high, which is a great target. That's kind of long, but I mean, I'd be break even here just because of how prices being. But yeah, I still think this can play out. And it was just like, given we had, I mean, we inverse this 15-minute gap, but again, we had this hourly gap. So maybe we want to come up for this AM high. I don't know. It's a bit of an internal range, I suppose. It wasn't like, do you know what I mean? It can go both ways, say, because we had this accumulation, manipulation down, and this is distribution from London's, like all the way down from London session. But yeah, I'll, um, I'll be back tomorrow.